My name is Tajiri Gitonga. I am a recruiter and I'm the director of Genesis Cruise Services, which is a duly licensed manning recruitment and placement agency. Today with us we have two returning seafarers. I will allow them to introduce themselves. Over to you guys.
My name is Martin Morioki. I work for Celebrity Cruises as a bartender, and I'm happy to be on this show today.
Thank you very much, Martin. Over to you.
And my name is Eunice Mothoni. I work for Celebrity Cruises, a Celebrity Summit to be precise, and I'm glad to be here.
Very good. So thank you guys for heeding the call to join our show. Tell us, which specific ship do you work for, which position, and then you can just shed some light on how you were able to, what was the process like for getting the job?
As I said, I work for Celebrity Cruises, and to be specific, Celebrity Eclipse as a bartender. The process was a bit tough, but we managed to go on board. It's a long process which requires quite a number of documentation from visa, passport, STCW, Seaman's book, among other documents. I hope we're going to discuss them here. But it was a smooth process, I can say that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe Eunice, you can shed some light on the documents that you required. Maybe give us in order. Which documents do you require first? How did you get them? And where you would advise us to get these documents? Yeah.
All right. I got to get hired last year by a manning agency that works recruitment agency for the cruise ship, which is already certified by the KMA. And one of the documentation process, if you look forward to applying a ship job or abroad outside Kenya, you need a passport in the first place, and you need traveling documents in the waters such as a seaman book. Yeah, and then you need to do your medical so that you can be fit when you're joining the job on the ship. And you also need to take vaccines like the MRI vaccines, the yellow fever vaccine. Yeah, so you need to be well informed and well prepared with all these things.
Oh, thank you for that, Eunice. You have mentioned Seaman's book.
Yeah.
What is this Seaman's book? Tell us.
I think most people don't really understand when someone says a Seaman's book. Seaman's book is like a passport that allows someone to travel to the international waters without any restrictions from any country. So ideally, it looks like a passport. But now this book allows you to travel to all international waters without immigration issues. And after you finish your contract, the company stamps it. And this is how you happen to get the, what is it called? Sea time.
Yeah.
So sea time shows the experience, the number of years you have worked on board, and it's a document that you get when you do the full course, the STCW course, which is only for 7 days. Yeah.
Oh wow! So you have mentioned something else.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned STCW.
Yes.
So STCW, you've told us that it's a 7-day training, which we actually offer here at PMTI.
Yes.
I'm actually wearing the T-shirt right now.
Yeah.
We offer it, and we have 2 branches. We have a branch in Nairobi and we have a branch in Meru. So basic safety training, we do it for 7 days.
Yeah.
And during this training, you've mentioned that we do basic safety, which is 4 courses, and security awareness.
Yeah.
And after this, that's when you get your Seaman's book.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are the advantages of having a Seaman's book? Why should someone have this Seaman's book? Is it beneficial maybe at the airport?
The Seaman's book. Okay, in some airport, they're going to ask you for the Seaman's book.
Okay.
And if they ask you for the Seaman's book, they don't have to check any other thing from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you
nice.
Like for me, when I was going to my last contract, I remember I went to Uganda first. They asked me for the Seaman's book.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Seaman's book gives you an advantage because you have to travel from very different countries. So at least you can travel without using your passport.
Oh,
the Seaman's book
awesome.
is it's like a passport that you use on the international waters.
That's good.
Yeah.
Eunice, have you ever had a situation where you had to use the Seaman's book where it was beneficial for you?
Yes, very much. In this case, when I was going for my visa interview, the C1D visa. C1D visa specifically, it is a crew visa, the crew who are going to work in the waters. So the officer at the counter will ask
Wait,
you.
C1D is for which country?
C1D is for US. If you sail in USA waters, you're going to need a C1D visa. And when you go
It's
to
like a work
for the-
permit.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
for
work
crew.
permit.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
for
crew
crew,
members.
just for the waters, and the C1D will sustain you on land just for 1 day for the day that you'll be going to board the ship.
Oh, so
Just
you
for
can't
that
use
night.
this
You
C1D
cannot use it for
maybe to go
3
visit a
days.
relative.
No, you cannot use it. And
okay.
for you to prove to the officer at the counter that you're going to work in the waters, you need to have the seaman book. So in the first place, before even you move from Kenya and go work out there, you're going to be asked at the embassy, which is a very important thing. Yeah, because you need to prove to them that you're going to work in the waters.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
I've heard that there's some airports that give you priority if you have Siemens book.
Sure.
So what does that look like? Do you skip the line? Do
Do you know, like in the most big airports, we have the marine hotels.
Okay, marine
So,
hotels.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
So-
for example, Qatar,
Yeah.
in Qatar airport, is it Doha or
Yeah, Doha.
somewhere?
Yeah.
There's a seafarers lounge.
Lounge.
If you just go in the lounge and just show the seaman book, and you're free to enter.
You
You
go
can have
there.
drinks, you can have food, you can rest,
You
watch
can shower.
football, you can shower. So you have so
Oh
many
wow, you
privileges.
can shower.
Yeah,
You can cut the lines at the airport.
Yeah.
That is the best thing.
Not
Cut
cutting
the
in a
line.
rude way, but you can just show the officer standing beside, like, I'm a seaman, and then you're given a through pass.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So it's I see why now I want to take a Siemens book. Whenever I travel, I'll
That's
make
the
sure I
first-
have one.
That is the first step for every sea person.
Okay.
You need to have a Siemens book.
Okay.
And
Actually,
a
they go
certificate.
along with your,
With
your
your
passport.
passport,
This is
yes.
your passport, this is your seaman book. You should
Yeah.
hold them. Not the passport is in the bag and the seaman book is in
You
the
attach
hand.
them
Passport
together.
and seaman
Yeah.
book like this.
Okay.
Wherever you're going, if you're a seafarer.
Okay. You've also mentioned that the country that you've been to. Maybe how many countries have you been to? Maybe in one contract, how many countries can you visit?
It depends with the itinerary. But for example, for me, I've been to like 26 countries.
26
Yeah,
countries.
26
My
different
goodness.
countries. Yeah.
Wow.
So it depends with the itinerary. Sometimes you can find yourself doing the same cruise for like maybe 4 months, 6 months. But some cruises they move from one country to another. So it
do you,
depends.
Do you get to maybe you're working on board, right? So you're in this country. Do you get to get off the ship and maybe visit?
Actually, that's the most interesting part about being a seafarer because every port day, you have to go do some shopping outside, come back on board. Yeah, that's the most interesting part about being a seafarer.
And what's the best port that you've ever gone to?
My best port is St. Lucia.
St.
It is a
Lucia.
Caribbean island.
Of course.
It's a small, tiny island, but really colorful.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is the first port that I fell in love with. Yes.
I think for me, I've gone to Fiji, the Fiji Islands. That one is the most. I love the culture. I love the food. And one thing I enjoyed most is the massage by the old women.
What? I never thought I would hear this. Massage by all
The
the
massage, 2-hour massage, but
2-hour massage.
amazing. You just sleep
Yeah,
and
he
wake
told
up,
me about it.
go back to work.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that was the best part of
I never thought I would want a massage from an old woman. This is interesting. Okay, so that's interesting. So tell me more about Port Day. Like how many hours do you get?
It depends with your schedule.
Okay.
Sometimes you find, for example, for us in the bar, most of the guests are outside, so we are free.
Okay.
So just go outside and then you come earlier before the guests start coming in.
Oh, okay.
So roughly, there are days we have overnight in port, so you go sleep outside and come the next morning.
Oh.
But on normal port days, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours outside, then you come back on board.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
And you don't get lost, do you?
Sometimes you do. I remember there's a time I was lost. The first time we came to US, I got lost. I had to request someone to request a cab for me to take me back to the ship. Because on the port we have like 96 ships.
Wow.
So if you request a cab, they ask you to which harbor you're going. You don't know.
Which terminal?
Which terminal?
Which terminal?
Don't
A,
know.
B,
The first
C.
time.
So you must know where your ship docks.
So at least
Whether it docks in terminal F,
yeah.
E.
Which terminal? Oh,
Yeah.
that one was crazy.
Let me tell you, I have gotten lost in 2 rivers. So I can imagine One port has 96 ships. I've gotten lost into River's basement. It's right there.
Not even the shops.
Not even the shop, just the
basement.
basement. Yeah, I lost my car. Where I had to involve security for nearly a whole hour just to look for my car. So I can imagine that's
Yeah.
a lot of ships, that's amazing. So now let's talk about the job that you actually do on board. Eunice, you told me that you're a waiter. So tell me more about your job on board.
My job as an assistant waiter on board is to assist the waiter. So we have a station, and it has a waiter and it has an assistant waiter, so that the waiter cannot get overwhelmed by the work. For example, dinners are really busy, and a waiter has approximately 6 to 8 tables, and each table has a seating capacity of 6 guests. So you can imagine when a waiter has 6 tables and each table has a seating for. So basically, for one sitting, that waiter is going to serve 48 guests, and there are 3 sittings in a night. So definitely he needs a seat so that he cannot get overwhelmed, and then so that the service can be delivered efficiently.
And tell me, so you assist the waiter to serve. So how did you even get to learn about the skill?
Back here at home, I have an experience, and my background is from hospitality industry. So it was not hard for me to transition. And then I had a growth mindset. Whenever I was going there, I wanted to grow experience-wise, financial-wise. So I was open-minded, and I embraced the job since day one when I joined the ship.
Wait, you said since day one. So like you got on board and then you immediately started working?
Yes, we started working after the orientation process. When we boarded the ship at 9 a.m. By 3 p.m. I was preparing to go and start my shift.
Oh, so when you go on board, you really have to know what you're going to do.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Someone will take you through the process, the introduction process, show you a station. For example, on day one, you will not be given a station on that day. But if you quick learning, and you can, by day 3, you will be having a station.
Wow.
Yes.
Martin,
Yeah.
tell me more about your position. Tell me where a Kenyan can get this knowledge, because clearly we've seen that you get on board and you start working.
So about my job, I went on board first as a bar boy. That's the lowest position in the bar. Within 2 months, I had learned. I was promoted to bar server and later on bartender.
Okay.
But when I went on board, I didn't know anything about the bar.
Okay.
So it was quite a very challenging moment. Actually, I was thinking about coming back home.
Wait, so you went in as a bar boy?
Yes. Bar boy is, my work was only to clean the bar.
Okay.
Nothing much than cleaning the bar.
Okay.
But I wanted to learn. I wanted to be like those flair bartenders, those sommeliers. So within 2 months, I learned and I was able to go to the bar.
Let me ask you, Martin. As a bar boy, maybe how much were you making?
Bar boy was making around 800 US.
$800.
Yes.
Wow.
That is the least position in the bar. 800 US per month.
That's above 100,000
Yes.
Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what motivated you to want more?
Because the bar boy position is the least position in the bar.
Okay.
I didn't want to stay in the same position for long.
Okay.
So I really wanted to learn. And my supervisor could see that I'm going to the bar during my break time. I'm extending my shift so that I can learn, I can know how to make cocktails. And then I got a promotion, a step up. A step up is when someone tells you from today you'll be working as a bar server, but it's not official in the system.
Okay.
After that, it was busy. There were no bartenders on board because now I'd learned to make cocktails. I started going to the counter, making cocktails. If I don't know, I asked my bartender, they helped me. And then before my contract ends, I was standing in the bar alone for maybe our day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's possible that you can grow. You go in as a bar boy, you get promoted while you're in your contract.
Yeah. Actually, if
That's
you see
amazing.
someone staying in one position for long, there's something wrong with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you advise, for example, for someone who has not much knowledge? Instead of going in as a bar boy, what would you advise?
First, if you want to go on board, because these positions are there. If I go back to last year when I was going on board, I would first do a training.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't get the culture shock I got when I went on board.
Okay.
I almost came back home
Oh my goodness.
because someone is asking you for, give me pina colada, you don't know what that means.
Uh-huh.
Give me any can, you don't know what that means.
Uh-huh.
But now, the fact that there's a facility
Uh-huh.
that is training people,
Mhm.
that is training people according to the standards, FOB standards, how you should do menu presentation, everything here,
Mhm.
I would first come to school.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now let me just cut you short, guys. We do the training here
Yeah.
at PMTI. We do have a bar training. We do train for food and beverage, so we train waiters. We also train for housekeeping, and I think you can maybe shed more light about housekeeping, the position, because you know here in Kenya, the housekeeping position is shunned. We usually look at housekeeping as a household, but on board, housekeeping is a very big position. Maybe Eunice, you can tell us a little more about housekeeping. Tell us about this position, what they do on board, and maybe you can even tell us how much they earn. Yeah.
All right. About the housekeeping position, like Tajiri said, we used to housekeepers back here, like as duty managers back at home. But on board, these are people that who clean the staterooms for the guests, starting from the suites, the medium staterooms, the staterooms that belong to,
These are
to
the rooms for the
yes,
guests, yeah?
the rooms for the guests. And these people earn good money.
Oh,
They earn good money. A housekeeper is earning above $4,000
$4,000.
just for rooms. So in a day, they're given like 20 rooms, and they are supposed to clean this room. And in between, not just once in the morning, but in between during the day, they can also go check in the rooms, whatever the guests need, maybe to replenish the towels, the sheets, whatever they need. It's a very good position. If anyone has done any housekeeping course, which I believe PMTI is starting very soon,
Yeah,
for
we're
the
actually
housekeeping
offering the
course, I'd advise someone to go for the housekeeping course.
Yeah, we're actually offering the housekeeping course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we need to we need to grow the knowledge about housekeeping, because I know anytime you mention housekeeping, the first thing that comes to someone's mind is, I'm going to be a maid.
Yeah.
You can imagine this. Yet you've told us that they can earn up to $4,000.
Yeah.
And I believe this also involves the tips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more about the tips for housekeeping. Maybe Eunice, you can tell me more about the tips for housekeeping. Martin, you can tell me more about the tips for bar. We'll start with you, Eunice.
Housekeeping is a tipping position on board. So basically, when you're going on board, there are positions which are tipping positions. These are like front house positions. Like Martin, who is in the bar, he's a front house, for example. Who I'm I'm in the restaurant. I'm in a front house position. Housekeeping also, because these front office positions means if you are getting a chance to interact to the guests.
Yes, yeah.
So the officers at the bridge, of course, their work is at the bridge.
Or the
It's not at the
engine.
guest area. So these are not front office positions like OS, the sailors.
Maybe.
Yes, they do not belong.
Kochini kwa engines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So every front office positions, it is a tipping position.
So if you interact with the guests, basically,
Yes.
it's easier for you to get the tips.
Yes, very much, because if you're interacting with the guests, this is hospitality industry. It is not a military camp. So you need to wear your smile always. You need to show concern,
Actually,
of
that's the
course.
first uniform.
Yes,
That's the
this is the
first
first uniform. For example, our way standard, we should be personalized, we should be knowledgenuine, and we should be
I forgot the other one.
there are three
Genuine.
ways.
We
Yeah,
should
we
be
should be
genuine.
genuine, we should be personalized, and we should be genuine.
Genuine.
Right?
Okay.
So through these ways guide us every day. Actually, we should put on a waist pin every day. That is part of the uniform.
What's a waist pin?
A waist pin. These are the ways, the three ways that I told you that guide us during the
It's a
day.
pin that
Knowledgeable.
symbolizes all that.
Oh,
Knowledgeable means that you should have the information on what you're doing in your field, and also about the ship, generally about the ship. For example, you're coming and you want to go to the theater, but you don't know where the theater is. I know the theater is on deck 4 forward.
Oh, wow.
So that is part of the knowledgeable part. And then the personalized. For example, you're my guest every night. By day 2, I should be knowing your name. For example, Mr. Chijiri, I'm happy to see you. Every time I come across you in the ship, I should refer you by your name, by your last name. Not the first name, but your last name.
Okay.
Then genuine. wherever you need any assistance from me, I should show genuine concern.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
So basically, this is all about hospitality. And
That's amazing.
yes, if you have a hand for the hospitality, it's not going to be hard for you. It's the transition is so easy, and you will enjoy it. Yeah.
Awesome. Martin, bar. I know many people are very interested about the bar position.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about the bar. We know the tips here, the person is, the better the tips.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the bar position. Tell us how it works. What kind of tips are there? How do you get paid? All these things.
First, bar is the best place to work. I know Eunice is going to, but I know she accepts the bar is the best
Yeah,
place
sure.
to work because you are dealing with people who are not. People are happy. They are drunk.
People
They are
are
happy.
happy.
Yes.
Your
So,
job is to make people
yeah,
happy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they make people happy. So every drink you make, your guests to, if you give them a drink, they give you a tip.
Wow.
So imagine if the guy stays in the counter for 1 hour, you take like 4 drinks,
Oof.
$5, $5, $5, that's $20
Wow.
at once.
$20
Yeah.
at once.
And then the other thing about the bar, we don't have fixed salaries.
Okay.
So we depend on swipes. The number of times you swipe the card, the more money you get.
So every time you serve a guest, you swipe the card.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If the guest comes here and asks for 2 Coronas, 2 Heineken, 2 Bloody Mary, you swipe 6 times, not once.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Those are 6 swipes.
Okay.
So that one, and then plus gratuity, and then the good thing you're paid after every 15 days.
15 days.
Yeah, after every 15 days.
Wow.
So you can estimate how much you're gonna get at the end of the month.
So tell me, maybe in those 15 days, how would your paycheck look like?
It depends with the cruise,
Uh-huh.
because there are some people who don't drink much. So it depends with where the cruise is. If you are in maybe Europe, they drink a lot.
Ooh,
If you go
Europeans
to-
drink a lot.
If you
I
go
thought
to
Americans drink
and Americans as well.
Uh-huh.
If you go to Asia, kaput. No,
no drink.
no drinks.
They
They
drink
don't.
soup.
They only drink hot water.
Wow.
Yeah, but it depends. But on the lowest side, maybe every 15 days you will make 1,600.
Wow. 1,600 every 15 days.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at 30 days
Yeah, 30 days it's times 2.
times 2.
Yeah, around 2,800, 3,000. It depends with the cruise.
You know you're getting paid more than a lot of CEOs here.
Not even CEOs. You know, I was telling people,
Uh-huh.
instead of being an MCA, you get paid. You get paid 350,000, and then you spend 150 with campaign and giving people money, and then you left with 60,000. You better, instead of running as an MCA, you better come on board as a cleaner.
As a cleaner.
Yeah. You get 200,000 cash without taxation and anything.
Oh, you've mentioned without taxation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard that the jobs, yeah, I'm a recruiter, so I know.
Yeah.
The jobs on board, you don't get taxed.
Yeah, not taxed.
So how does that work? Where do they put your money?
There's an account called Northleaf. So they deposit your money there, and then you withdraw, you send back home if you have to send back home.
Oh,
And
that's
even
cool.
if you go withdraw cash on the ATM, if you have $800 and you withdraw $800, they don't charge you anything.
They don't charge you anything.
No,
That's
no
amazing.
transaction fee.
Okay.
No.
Eunice, tell me, you've earned your money, you've gone on board. How did it change your life when you came back home? What were you able to do with this money that maybe changed your life?
It really changed my life. I was looking forward to get such a job where I can get financial. I'm not yet into financial freedom yet, but my journey just started, and I was so happy about it. Such that I have a young daughter. I can afford a good school for her. I can afford good clothes for her. A good lifestyle. Yes.
So you've been able to take her to places that you would not have taken.
Yes, sure. And also I support my mom in her business also. And also I can also save for myself when it comes to investment. Maybe after my second contract, I'm going to come back and look on what to settle in terms of investment. So I'm saving a lot. You get to support your family back at home, and again, save good money.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Martin, tell us. So we've seen a lot of growth in your career. You started as a bar boy, and now your position is a bartender, or is it bar server?
Yeah, I do both at the same
You
time.
do both at the same time. So tell me more. If you, for example, want to grow your career even more, what advice would you give?
as long as you feel comfortable, any direction you want to go. For example, I am planning to cross-train to become a sommelier.
What's
So
a sommelier?
a sommelier is a wine specialist when you're
okay.
dealing with wines.
Okay.
So you just do whatever you think you're comfortable at. Anything you feel like, when I do this, I'm happy, no much stress. Do it.
So let me give you an example. For example, I'm a Kenyan. I've just finished maybe my studies. I've studied something different. For example, I can give you an example. I've studied business administration, but I would like to get a job on board.
Yeah.
What would you advise me to do?
For me, I don't really think about what you did in school.
Okay.
Because I know, when you're doing interviews, they don't ask for any certification.
I know that. Yeah.
They only ask for your birth certificate,
Uh-huh.
and they only ask for STCW and Siemens book.
Yeah.
So if you have done engineering, medical science, please make sure you have 2 documents, SCCW and Siemens book.
Okay.
Without that, and passport. Without that, then you cannot work on board. So we have quite a number of people who have done different courses.
What course did you do?
I did a course. I don't like mentioning this course because because it has never paid me even a single day. But I did a course in medical research,
Wow.
Bachelor in Science and Medical Research. But I use that knowledge to make cocktails nowadays. I mix cocktails because I was supposed to work in the lab, but now I'm working in the bar. So I use the same knowledge to make
That's
cocktails.
Oh, okay. Wow. So someone like me who has done business administration, I think my advice to you guys, come study, come get the knowledge. We have courses here in PMTI. Come get the knowledge so that when you go on board, the first day you go on board, you start working. So there's nothing like, oh, I'll be trained on board. No, I can do this. No. Let me tell you one thing. When I'm recruiting people, we never ask about where you've studied. We ask about your experience and your knowledge. So I always tell people, if you have the knowledge, if you have the skill, then that's all that matters to us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you're here at PMTI, and you're training with us now.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is the advantage of having a returning seafarer training our courses here? Over to you, Eunice.
All right. The advantage of our seafarer coming back to PMTI is like giving back also to the school, and also to nurture the young talent and the young students who are taking these courses. For example, the food and beverage courses, the F&B courses, the STCW. Basically, they're saying like these are the people who have gone aboard and come back, and we want to share the same knowledge that we have acquired on board with them, so that when they are coming to apply jobs, they'll be having an idea of what they are going to do. We also train them on the standards that we use on the ship. So basically, the trainings that are happening here, it is happening according to the ship's standard, not just any standard. For example, if you go to a hotel, you just order some tea, and you need a cake, let's say a banana cake, right? But the waitress just goes back and orders the cake and the tea. But you didn't. This waitress didn't ask you whether you have an allergy to milk. Maybe you take green tea, maybe you take chamomile tea, maybe you take hibiscus tea, right? But then they don't ask you. But most of hotels do that. They don't ask. For example, back here in Kenya, before service, we don't ask the guests whether they have any allergies. And on board, the first question when you welcome your guests and they sit when they sit at your station, you give them water, and you have to ask the water preferences which they want to take, like still water, sparkling water, or iced water. And then you go ahead, you ask them whether they have any allergies. You don't just put like bread first. Yes, we understand bread is for welcoming the guest, but I might be giving a gluten-free guest the bread that they don't take the.
Don't take gluten.
They don't take gluten, but I've already put there, so it will be a walk of shame when I'm going back to my station to return the bread. So basically, even when our students here at PMTI, when they are going to the industry for their industrial attachment after they're done with these courses, we are training them such that when they get these guests and they are in the service, the first thing they do, because we never assume in service, we never assume at all. Someone can still look fit, but they are allergic to something. I can look fit like this, but I don't take milk.
Wow.
You see?
Okay.
So you're going to get learned students. They have the skills and they are learned, and this is basically what we're trying to inform them and all these hacks.
Okay. So Martin, tell us. You're also here. You're training. Tell us what you're training. Tell us the course that you're training, and tell us why it's different.
So for me, I'm here for bar and mixology because I'm a bartender. At least I want to inform the student here about the international cocktails, international beers, international whiskeys, all these things that they'll be asked during their interviews, and the things that they'll be dealing with when they go on board. So as Eunice has said, we want to train our student in accordance to the standards that are on board, so that when they go on board, they don't experience culture shock, they don't feel like they're not supposed to work here, they don't feel like I'm not able to finish my contract. So we want to prepare our student mentally, we want to give them at least the transition between working in land and sea to be very smooth if they have training. Yeah.
And I think one thing I've come to realize, whenever we're doing interviews, we usually have a lot of people. Someone, for example, who has served in a hotel. It's a good hotel, they've served, they have plenty of experience over 2 years, but then they've never worked in a hotel that has to serve, that has to set the table.
Yeah, sure.
So I know during the interview, someone is asked, how do you set the table English for an English dinner?
English breakfast.
You know, for a 3-course meal, and someone, you know, gets shocked because they're wondering, I've served for 2 years as a waiter. I've never had this question before. You know, and someone is good, but they don't have this knowledge. In the bar, sometimes we ask people about international beverages, international beers. So someone who has worked here in Kenya, you've worked here, you've served at a very nice, very busy bar and restaurant. You have everything that it takes to work on board. But there's just a little bit of knowledge that you lack. So I believe when you're training the students, you're able to fill the gap, because there's a big gap. Whenever we're doing recruitment, we usually see a big gap between the knowledge that is required on board versus what we have here in Kenya. So I believe that you guys are able to know the gap and you fill the gap during training. Okay. So as we wind up, Eunice, maybe you can tell us more about the course that you train here at PNTI.
All right. Taking a food and beverage service and sales course, which is 2 months, and every month we have an intake, and I'm quite happy the turnover is really good, and the students are really interested in this position, especially the restaurant, the bar positions.
So when you train, what do you train people to be?
I train people to become from assistant waiters and waiters on board, snack attendants. They can be room service, in room service. They can be butlers also, because it's not much different.
Okay.
Yes.
Martin, over to you. Tell us, what do you train, and what is the career looking like when you train? What does someone do after that?
So for me, I'm training by mixology. This one is a very wide department because we have bartenders, we have bar servers, we have private bar servers, we have sommeliers and mixologists.
Amazing.
So it depends with whatever direction you want to take when you go on board. But we are training the basic information about the bar, which is a foundation for all these other departments. The course is just 1 month, so we have intakes every month. This is my small office, as you can see.
Yes, I can see there's a lot of tools here.
Yes.
Tell us, what are these?
This is all you need for making cocktails. We have the jiggers. This is a jigger. How you measure cocktail like this. And then we have a corkscrew and the opener. We have a muddler here. When you're making a cocktail like a mojito, you have to use this one. You have this one to get the ice.
Oh, for ice.
If you don't have a scoop, you have this a strainer. This a strainer, you can use it with the shaker. For example, if you just want to, if you mix your cocktail and then you just want to strain like this.
Okay.
But now we have the modern shakers whereby you don't need to use the strainer. You just pour like this.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then this is a scoop. If you want to mix your cocktail.
Oh, that's why it's so long, eh?
Yeah, you mix it like this. And then here we have the pourers.
What are these?
Unaweka kwa mzinga. You put like this to
Oh,
avoid wastage.
oh, that makes
So you
sense.
put it here, and then you pour.
Oh, you pour.
Yes,
It's interesting. So here you have all the tools
yes.
of trade.
Apart from, we have the scoop is not here. We have the ice machine, such things. But these are the things that we need for the bar,
Okay.
for it to make cocktails.
I can see you're very ready to train us.
We are always ready.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So another course that we offer here at PMTI is the one that you've heard a lot about. It's called STCW. We do the training for 7 days. We currently have an offer for 30,000, and this offer is going to run from August, September, and maybe October. Maybe we'll think about this. The STCW basic safety training will last 7 days. After this, you will get your Siemens book, and now you'll have all the certificates that you need before you start applying for the jobs. And I'll remind you, it's very important for you to have your Siemens book and your STCW certificate. Okay guys, so we are wrapping up this episode. Thank you guys for coming in. Guys, tune in for the next episode where we'll be having more seafarers and we'll get to hear their experience on board. Cheers guys.